Hello there, I'm Begalius, and it's a Saturday night curry night. So if you hear the oven, then I do apologise. And if you're wondering why I'm cooking a curry in the oven, then you've never been a student, and also you're far too good at cooking for this channel. But I want to talk about some stuff. It's going to be one of those update videos, one of those rambly update videos that you don't like and that no one watches. But I do feel a service to talk about some stuff, and I do have some stuff to talk about. Obviously, if you are a regular to this channel, which I highly doubt you are, but if you are, then you'll have noticed the gap in uploads. I took a week off from uploads, not fully intentionally, but also for very random reasons. I don't like taking time away from the channel because I feel that I lose momentum, but I can't always do it. I've had a lot going on. I'm spent, dude. I'm burned out beyond belief. I'm a very hard worker, and I work very hard in my job, but it's just become a lot harder recently, and it's absolutely kicking my ass. And on top of that, I'm now having to train someone else in my position and learn new things. So it hasn't been particularly easy for me at the moment, and I've just been absolutely snowed under. But I'm in this sort of perpetual state where I don't want to get too into it, but I've had a very tough year. Things have been very difficult this year, and I've had a lot to contend with. It's sort of like just over and over again. Just as soon as one thing ends, something new begins. I talk a lot about video games on here, and it's difficult. I've spoken about this before, but it's difficult to be worried about, like, for example, my car, passing its MOT, and then be like, oh, are they going to add Tactical Sprint to Call of Duty this year? It's quite difficult to. And I'm not saying I don't like video games or they're inconsequential for me. They're still my main hobby, but it's difficult to have perspective at that point. And secondly, it's one of those sort of like knock-on effects where I'm kind of on this sort of knife edge at the moment in terms of my ability to just sort of contain everything and be okay. And so the moment a single spanner is thrown into the works, it throws me off. And at the moment I'm ill. I've got this like cold that everyone in my town seems to have at the moment. It's not COVID. We've checked several times and it's not COVID, but man does it feel like it. And it's this like unique brand of cold/flu where it just sucks the life out of you and sucks the energy out of you. So when I'm feeling like this and I'm working my ass off and I'm genuinely dizzy with exhaustion, I just want to sit down and relax, and I don't have it in me to talk about these things or even keep up to date with what's going on in terms of gaming. So, in order to chill out, I'll sit down, I'll throw on some Kamasi Washington, listen to that man make love to the sax. Have a glass of scotch and play some video games, and I have to do that. I have to unwind. I need that time just to breathe. It's very difficult to breathe. I'm very frequently described as a very calm person, and I know a lot of the time in these commentaries I don't come off that way, but I choose inflammatory subjects, and things escalate. It's for content's sake. I am, for all intents and purposes, in most contexts, quite a calm person, but it's very difficult to maintain, and checking in on that is quite tough. So this is something that I knew would happen. I knew was going to happen eventually, but I was, knowing that going into it, I knew that I would bounce back and make videos regularly again, even though this is only a week off. Nowadays you can't do something like that. If you post regularly, you just can't take a week off anymore. So is what it is. I don't have a huge channel. It's not my living, so who cares, right? I have a full-time job. But what am I looking forward to? Well, the good news is that I do have something to unwind with. Right now I'm kind of in a bit of a limbo where it's like, well, there's no sense in playing Call of Duty. There's no sense in picking that back up. But there's a lot of talk about Call of Duty and a lot of hype. We're at that stage of Call of Duty hype where it's like, okay, we're nearly there. And I was thinking about this recently. I'm a very introspective person, in case you couldn't tell. That plays into a lot of the mental health issues that I'm not going to talk about during this video, but yeah, I'm a very introspective person. I was thinking about the fact that I'm so cynical with Call of Duty, but the fact is I enjoy looking forward to these games. I enjoy the excitement of one coming around the corner, and part of that is the cynicism, right? Part of it is just like second guessing everything they do, but it's still enjoying and enjoying, it's still an exciting process going through that and looking forward to the next Call of Duty game, and whether it will be a great one or whether it will be a bit of a flop. And so yes, I am looking forward to next week. It's coming out next Friday. Very excited about that. And given, you know, the fact that it's Treyarch, you know, it's the first Treyarch game since 2020. Believe it or not, Cold War was actually my most played Call of Duty game, and for a myriad of reasons, and there are reasons I'm looking forward to in this game. I do agree that I think that Call of Duty has taken itself a little bit too seriously recently, and in my opinion, from what I've heard, this is sort of the anti of that. I've heard that you can like move the HUD. You know, we have so many arguments about like whether we should keep the HUD, or, well, actually, to be honest with you, most of those arguments were coming from Infinity Ward. They took it so seriously, and we were saying, no, give us the HUD back. And not only have they given it back to us in Cold War, but we can move it, put it wherever the hell we damn well want to. And I've heard that like customizable reticles and stuff like that are coming back. They're not flooding us with a bunch of weapons. The meta is just going to be great, but with fewer weapons, and I like that. And I like the sort of the brighter color palette for the maps and stuff like that, and overall, you know, the overall map layout is great too. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to a Call of Duty game that, you know, isn't just trying to be so overt and so on the nose with how it wants to be taken seriously, and its obsession with player retention, because yes, they're bringing back classic Prestige, and I'm so excited. I was watching an Espresso video on Call of Duty today. Well, I was listening to one while I was working, and apparently it is just going to be straight away. You're going to be able to get straight to max Prestige from the get-go. Thank you, merciful Lord. It took us far too long, and I think I did 3 identical videos complaining about exactly this. But when a Call of Duty game comes out and they wait for Season 1 to actually introduce those first 3 batches of Prestiges, that gives me a month to get bored of the game and not want to play it and play something else. And I genuinely think that was happening with me. I haven't like properly sunk my teeth into a Call of Duty game for a long period of time since 2020 with Cold War, which was the most traditional Call of Duty experience. I think it was the last time that it was just, hey, bang, straight away, here's the first 4 Prestiges or whatever, and then we'll add them on with Season 1. We're not even getting that now. They're going to all be there straight away, and that's really fantastic. So who knows, this could be a Call of Duty game that I play a lot. So in terms of the channel, this is an update video. I will say that we may end up with a lot of videos with Call of Duty footage where I talk about what's going on, or how I feel. Maybe not how I feel, but that sort of old school style of video. I'm sure that will phase out eventually, and I will still be doing my sort of gaming journalism stuff. I'll still be talking about video game updates, and I'll still be reviewing stuff. And I really need to go around to doing my Sifu update. I want to do a Deus Ex Mankind Divided update because I've been playing that, and obviously Indiana Jones when it comes, Stalker 2. I will still be playing those games, hopefully, and I will still be reviewing them and still commenting on stuff. But if Call of Duty is able to sink its teeth into me, because I won't just get bored, of not leveling up for 4 or 5 weeks and just get sick of the game and play something else, if that happens, then we may end up with a lot of those old school Call of Duty style videos that I've always wanted to make on this channel, along with the journalism videos. So this channel really is shaping into exactly what I've always wanted to make, and if I can do both of those, the commentaries and the reviews and updates and news and stuff like that, then man, I'm going to be in a very happy place with this channel, and that is great. This channel has really, really kept me going, and that's that, and I guess I'll see everyone later.
The PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.